9. Persons who oppose Jehovah and his people. PS 22. 13. 35. 17. 57. 4. J 12. 8. False prophet says 22. 25. Wicked rulers and princes. PR 28. 15. Zep 3. 3. The Babylonian world power. Dar 7. 4. And Satan the devil. 1 PE 5. 8. And the seven-headed, ten-horned wild beast out of the sea, which derives its authority from Satan, was depicted as having a lion's mouth. Re 13. 2 at Psalm 91. 13. The lion and the cobra seem to denote the power of the enemy, the lion being representative of open attack and the cobra of underhanded scheming, or attacks from a concealed place. Compare Lu 10. 19. 2 Cootextoe acute muritra longo, lip 258 stone. Dar 6. 17. It was evidently a sunken or underground place, for Daniel was lifted up out of the pit. Dar 6. 23. Lip. Being a part of the mouth and having much to do with formation of words, lip heb. Semiddle.far. Gr. Kalos is used figuratively for speech or language. PR 14. 3. 1 Co 14. 21 and is occasionally used in parallelism with tongue. PS 34. 13. PR 12. 19 and with mouth. PS 66. 14. PR 18. 7 Before the confusion of language at Babel, all the earth continued to be of one language literally, lip and of one set of words. GE 11. 1, 6-9. The same usage is employed at PS 81. 5. ISA 19. 18. God promised through the prophet Zephaniah to give to peoples the change to a pure language lip. Thus they would unitedly speak in praise of Jehovah and his righteous purposes by Christ Jesus. Zep 3. 9. Compare PR 12. 19. The lips are no sure index of what is in the heart, since they can be used by the individual to utter hypocritical speech. Mount 15. 8. However, the lips cannot hide the true condition of the heart from God. Heb 4. 13. And they will eventually bring forth what is in the heart. PR 26. 23-26. Mount 12. 34. Moses wanted to excuse himself from speaking before Pharaoh, because he was uncircumcised in lips, that is, as though his lips had a foreskin over them on hence were too long and thick to utter speech with ease. He may have had some sort of speech impediment. X 6. 12, 30 Isaiah, when called by Jehovah, wished to serve but lamented that he was as good as brought to silence because he, a man unclean in lips, had seen Jehovah in vision, and he was unfit to carry God's clean message. Jehovah then caused Isaiah's lips to be cleansed. Isa 6. 5-7. Compare Job 15. 3. Isa 52. 11. 2 Co 6. 17. Hosea's prophecy encouraged Israel to offer to Jehovah the young bulls of their lips, representing sacrifices of sincere praise. Ho 14. 2. The Apostle Paul alludes to this prophecy when he exhorts fellow believers to offer to God a sacrifice of praise, that is, the fruit of lips which make public declaration to his name. Heb 13. 15. Figuratively, a smooth lip denotes deceptive speech. PS 12. 2, 3 Such lips, as well as harsh or lying ones, can be damaging. Wounding deeply like a sword or poisoning like a viper. PS 59. 7. 140. 3. Row 3. 13 A person opening wide his lips is one who speaks thoughtlessly or unwisely. PR 13. 3 It can bring him to ruin, for God holds everyone accountable for his words. De 23. 23. New 30. 6-8. PR 12. 13. Compare Job 2. 10. Mount 12. 36, 37. Liquor, intoxicating. C. Wine and strong drink. Litter. A portable couch or bed usually covered with a canopy and curtained in on the sides, designed so that a person of importance, either seated or reclined, can be carried about by men or beasts of burden. A palanquin is used in the Orient. The royal litter of King Solomon was made of Lebanese cedar wood, with silver pillars and supports of gold, and with the seat or cushion upholstered in costly and beautiful wool dyed reddish purple. The interior was richly ornamented, possibly with ebony. K3. 7-10, FTN. A bier, or portable funeral couch, for transporting the remains of the dead was known as a somidal.ros. Lu 7. 14. Liver. A large glandular organ in vertebrate animals and man that plays a role in digestion and blood chemistry. In man, the largest of the glands. The Hebrew term for the liver comidal.vedh comes from a root meaning be heavy. The Hebrew scriptures use the word liver most frequently with reference to the livers of animals prepared by the Israelites for sacrifice. X 29. 22. La 3. 4, 10, 15. 4. 9. It was the appendage upon the liver that was made to smoke on the altar. X 29. 13. The Commentary on the Old Testament, by C.F. Keel and F. Delitzsch, describes this portion of the liver as the liver net, or stomach net, which commences at the division between the right and left lobes of the liver, and stretches o textoi acute urethra longo, lone 259 course, result in death. The liver's vital role to life is acknowledged in that it is used figuratively in depicting profound sorrow. Bar 2. 11. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, when looking for guidance as to his military maneuvers, looked into the liver as a form of divination. As 21. 21. See divination. Lizard Heb. Zave. Lizards are four-legged reptiles, generally small, with long tails and scaly skin. The lizard's legs are attached far enough out at the sides to enable it to rest its belly on the ground without folding its feet under it. More than 40 kinds are found in Palestine. They are to be found in trees, in warm crevices of rocks, and on walls and ceilings in homes. The lizard is included among the unclean swarming creatures at Leviticus 11. 29. It is suggested that the Hebrew name for it is derived from a root meaning cleave to ground. The Hebrew and English Lexicon of the Old Testament by Brown, Driver, and Briggs 1980, p. 839 suggests lizard as the translation. Evidently the Hebrew term zave at least includes the Agamidae family of lizards, for the equivalent Arabic term dab refers to the Egyptian spiny-tailed lizard Uromastix egyptius, the largest of the species of Agamidae found in Israel. See chameleon. Gecko. Sand lizard. Lexicons generally suggest that the Hebrew word koach also refers to a kind of lizard. Since the root meaning of the name is power or strength, it may refer to the desert monitor lizard Varanus griseus, a powerful, large lizard. It inhabits dry, sandy desert areas. In Palestine this lizard reaches a length of about 1.2 meters, 4 feet. It is an eater of carrion and is on the list of unclean foods. La 11. 29, 30. Another creature listed as unclean for Israelite use as food is referred to by the Hebrew word chodashmet, at Leviticus 11. 30. Some recent translations R.S. N.W. render this sand lizard. The sand lizard is possibly a skink. Load. See burden. Loaf. The Hebrew word lachem and the Greek word artos, both meaning bread, are also rendered loaf. 1-10. 4. Mount 14. 17 bread loaves, generally made from barley or wheat flour to Kai 4. 42. Joe 6. 9. Compare X 34. 22 with La 23. 17, or often circular. JG 7. 13. 1-10. 3. J 37. 21. In fact, the Hebrew word kick round loaf literally means something round. 1-2. 36. Of course, loaves were also formed into other shapes. An Egyptian papyrus document mentions over 30 different forms of bread. Ancient specimens from Bible lands include relatively thin round, oval, triangular, and wedge-shaped cakes or loaves and thick, long loaves. See bread. Cake. However, the thick loaves, like those of the Western world, do not appear to have been common in the ancient Middle East. Even today Oriental bread is baked in thin loaves, usually from 1 to 2.5 centimeters 0.5 to 1 inch in thickness, and about 18 centimeters 7 inches in diameter. Since they were relatively thin and, if unleavened, brittle, loaves of bread were broken rather than cut. So in itself there is nothing special about Jesus breaking the loaf used at the institution of the Lord's evening meal. Mount 26. 26, it being the customary way to partake of bread. Mount 14. 19. 15. 36. Mr. 6. 41. 8. 6. Lu 9. 16. Act 2. 42, 46, int. Lo ami lo on me not my people. The name of the second son born by Hosea's wife Gomer. Jehovah commanded that the child be given this meaningful name to show that he had disowned faithless Israel. Ho 1. 8, 9. It has been suggested that this boy was not Hosea's offspring but a child of Gomer's adultery. Ho 1. 2. For when Jezreel was born, it was said that Gomer bore to him Hosea a son, whereas regarding Lo ami it is merely said that she proceeded to become pregnant and give birth to a son. Ho 1. 3, 8. Loan. Anything, especially money, given for temporary use, with expectation of future return or the delivery of an equivalent. Often very high interest was charged in nations of Otex to a acute muritra longo. Loathsome thing 260 reasonably be expected to pay interest, as they would also be lending to others on interest. De 23. 20.